Hello, everyone. It's me, Mrs. Groner, and today we're talking about story elements again. Let's take a look. We've already learned that story elements are important things that stories have. One of the elements we've talked about is the setting. The setting is where and when the story happens. We've also talked about characters. The characters are the people or animals in the story. Today, we're going to talk about another important story element called plot. That's a weird word, isn't it? The plot of a story is what happens in the story or the events of the story. The plot includes the beginning, middle, and ending of the story. The plot also includes the problem and solution of a story. Think about the stories in the pictures below. What are the events in those stories? What are the problems and solutions? Let's take a look. Okay, so we have Little Red Riding Hood. The events. Little Red Riding Hood's grandmother is sick, so she takes her some treats in the forest, but the big bad wolf stops her and learns where grandmother lives. So he runs to grandmother's house, eats grandmother, gets in grandmother's bed, and then Little Red Riding comes and he tries to eat her too. At the end of the story, the woodcutter comes and saves Little Red Riding Hood and grandmother. Those are the events of the story. The problem is the big bad wolf wants to eat everybody. The solution is the woodcutter comes and saves grandmother and Little Red. What about the story, The Monster, at the end of this book? What are the events? Well, the events are that Grover hears that there's a monster at the end of the book. He gets really, really scared and tries to stop everyone from getting him to the end of the story. But at the end of the story, it's just Grover. I love that story. Think about the other stories pictured here. What are the events? What are the problems and solutions? Now it's your turn. You get to tell me about one of these stories. Tell me, what are the events of the story? What is the problem and solution of the story? I can't wait to hear what you know. Have fun.